Hello and welcome back to this course, and in this particular lecture we are going to start building our application, our actual layout and actual designing our application in Android Studio and for Android, of course. And in this particular lecture we are going to add a text view, as you can see in my mockup, which is again really simple. I didn't want to create a whole new course and a whole new section for designing this kind of app like these ones. I mean, come on, it's just a background, blue background or whatever color you want, text at the center. I think it's almost at the center. It's going to be at the center, and just a button almost at the bottom. Okay, so in this lecture, as I said, we are going to add a text view. Okay, so this one. So go to our Android Studio and open up go to resources, res folder, go to layout, and go to activity main.xml. And in the design tab at the bottom, you are going to see a bunch of different options, views, layouts, texts, and so on. So and in the layouts we have different layout options like frame layout, and what the frame layout is actually is, linear layout, relative layout, which we are using right now, which basically means objects and views and different views are going to be placed and viewed relative to each other, which linear layout or horizontally means it's going to put elements horizontally from each other and so on. So relative layout at this point. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just press this plus button, and now we are going to, let's delete this hello world text view. Just select it and press delete on your keyboard. Now go to widgets and grab plain text view. Okay, so grab this one and drag it to our screen. See how it's cool? How cool it is? No? Okay. Well, when you grab your widget, our plain text view, at this case, you see that our object is going to be placed relatively to our relative layout, in our relative layout. And you see a lot of green dashed lines, orange dashes, and so on. And we are going to place our text horizontally, center horizontal and center vertical. Okay, and just let your mouse cursor down. And as you can see, you get a new text at the center of the screen. And we are going to change our text our actual text. Select our text, which in our case is just a new text, and go to our properties, properties panel, and let's search for a text maybe just a basic text, and you can just write in right here whatever you want, or a better way to actually write text and create strings is to create a string values. Okay, so select your text property here and press on these three dots. You're going to get this resources new screen, and in here we are going to create a new kind of resource. Okay, and in the system we have a bunch of different options. Just go to new resource and new string value, and I'm going to explain why we are just basically creating new strings and not writing straight directly into this box. Let's name our resource. So it's going to be our fun engineering fact name, which could be whatever. And let's just name it let's just name it generally, and it's going to be engineering fact. Okay, in the resource value we are going to write our actual text, and in our case just write for engineers every course apart, for engineers every course apart what? Apart from engineering is easy. Okay, and just leave it everything as it is, just press OK, and voila, we have our text at the center. And now, as I said, and see what we created, and add string, like, and where is add string? Okay, and where add string, it's going to be under resources folder, under values folder, and strings.xml file. And as you can see, we created this new resource with like new string with the name of engineering fact. And why we created it at the first place. Basically, if you are going to want like translate your application, you are going to, if you are going to just write everything, your text in this like directly in this box, in this private, you will have a lot of difficulties to translate application, because you are going, if you have an app which has a lot of string text, a lot of resources, a lot of different screens and so on, you are going to need to go to create new layouts like this one, create new strings for the different language. But if we are creating like this one, like creating string values, we're just going to create a new values folder and with a create, for example, let's just right click on a resources folder, new, and new resource directory. Okay, and in directory name we are going to name it values dot like -fr. Okay, and we press OK. And in this folder we are going to create a new string file, or just copy the string file into this folder, and we are just basically going to translate our application. For example, for engineers, every course apart from engineering is easy, and we are going to write it in French. And when we are going to upload our application in Google Play Store, everything, our Google is going to find our French translation, and basically it's going to translate our application to French users. This is why basically we created these ones. And basically if we are going to need to create, we need to reference this text in like other layouts, we are going to just need to create, to reference this engineering fact name string resource. Okay, so a lot of different stuff. Hopefully you understand something. If you don't, please write your question to the right in the discussion section. I will surely going to explain everything. And the final thing what I want to show you is we probably want to change our text, how I would say it, like size. Okay, and just select it and go to our properties panel and select text size. In the text size, just write something like 20 SP. And maybe we want to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe we want 30. Oops, 30 SP. And what SP is a scaled independent pixels, which basically means, and in Android it basically means we are going to, our application, our text size is going to be the same. It's going to be scaled the same way for the different screen sizes. Okay, and we created our text, and basically we want actually maybe to, if we for example want to change our text again, go to our strings folder and create this dot at the end. And we have our dot in this screen. Okay, and then probably that's it for this lecture. And in this lecture, I wanted to just show you how to add a text view and how to change everything. Okay, 30 pixels. And as you can see, it has some kind of padding to the right. And we are going to actually style our text in the later lectures, okay?